Hey, before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakurash. Double honors unto my apostles and others of great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akiyam that's out here pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right. And, back at it again. I'm in motion as I usually am on my way to the job. And, I didn't have a title, but even as I was doing this, the introduction, a few subject matters came to mind. The Lord willing, we'll see where the Spirit go from there. But the first thing, hey, shalom. I guess the first topic that kind of just crossed my mind as I was cutting this on, is dealing with the individual from ISUPK, coming up to the brothers, the elders out there in Dallas, and all the fake traction that this is trying to create amongst these other camps. You got what's this guy, Akkad, I'm not sure that I'm bad with names in general, but Genesis, heated debate, and jeez, these individuals, man, as the scriptures say, some teach of Yahushai in contention and strife, man. All of these different situations really expose where a man's mind is at, So, that's the first thing I really want to say with that is that that's what this video is about. I've spoken on this before, but the immaturity of people is working against them. Because the next subject matter, as I say, with the individual that came up to them from the ISUPK, and the first thing he wanted to use or go towards or lean on, as he thought was going to give him the upper hand in the conversation, was you guys, and what is y'all's take on when a woman can get married? And we were brothers here. We were discussing this amongst our group, and I was leaning into something, and I said, you know what? That's what I'm gonna speak on. That's what the Spirit is leaning me on. Is the immaturity of people. People can't understand the subject matter of when a man or a young boy and a young girl enters into womanhood and manhood, because most individuals around us, majority of people, have never left boyhood. They're 35 years old, they're 40, they're 60, and they've never actually left boyhood. And the same goes for women as well. A lot of women are no different today at 35, 45, 55, 65 than when they were at 15. And this truth, the truth, I should say, of the Bible, the true understanding, the scriptures say that the Bible is full of dark sayings and parables. For you to be able to digest this bitter, you have to be an adult. You have to be mature. Hey, 144. You have to. All right? There's no way around it. This word, I'm gonna say this on another level. This word is written in a way that purposely offends those that are immature. If you're immature, you cannot receive this word in its fullness, because there's parts of it that requires you to be very much so mature. And what do I mean mature? I'm speaking spiritually. All right. The scriptures say that this word is for who? Those that can deal with meat, right? Not on the sincere milk. So that's one level of it. You have to be mature. Some understanding, some breakdowns, some parts of this truth are not for a novice. But through faith, you grow and you're able to what? Be weaned off the milk and deal with more meatier subject matters. That's the truth. But if you aren't even, but that comes with the Lord dealing with you. That still comes with the Lord dealing with you, building you up, maturing you. But for the majority of people out here, these subject matters are make them feel uncomfortable. All right, Proverbs, the 1st chapter. How long will ye simple ones love simplicity? Forever. Most simple people are going to die in their simplicity. They're not going to one day cut on the maturity and become mature. Get the fuck out of here. That's not how that works. So dealing with the subject matter and even with the young man that came out and was listening, he showed forth his immaturity. You know, his immaturity in the truth, his understanding, you know. But that's what this world does. This world overpowers it. Scriptures speak about at least, you know, a puffed up novice, because that's all this world is full of. See, we live in a time now. It's 2025. We're a few days away from 2026. We're in a season. We're in a time, an era where you can really just go online. You could go on the internet, watch a few videos, right? And then you could position yourself and portray yourself in the world as an expert. That's the time we're in. This isn't 10 years ago. This isn't 15 years ago. This isn't 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Sure as hell isn't 30 years ago, where you really had to go put in work in libraries. So you have a lot of puffed up novice. What is a novice? A boy, immature. This world is crumbling and decaying because of immaturity on all levels. You can't accept the reality that in the ancient world, women were starting families at a young age because it makes you feel uncomfortable. That's a personal problem. Not an uncomfortable with the simple fact of you measuring one society versus another. No, I'm speaking to the internal uncomfortability that a lot of you have when it comes to a lot of subjects, specifically the subject matter of sex and a man and a woman. A lot of you still are in that little rascals hanging out in the clubhouse, hanging out in the treehouse, looking at titty magazines. That's the level of your maturity. You know what proves the fact of all of y'all's opinions on the idea of when a family should start? What cuts it is the society that you live in that holds up that thought process. I did a lesson not too long ago on the fact that the birth rate of America is quickly approaching the place of the point of no return. See, a lot of you are that's why a lot of you just gotta go. A lot of you, because you're anti-life. You're anti-life on a very high level. And you don't even know it. Okay? A lot of you're speaking from your own trauma. You're speaking from your own hurt. All right? And there's no place for that in the law. There's no place in that in any law system. Okay? When the president and these different people are interviewing supreme justices and judges on the highest level, they're quizzing them to see how would their own experiences in life skew their judgments. But a lot of you, every bit of your emotional trauma that you've had to experience curves your wisdom. What's right and what's wrong becomes how you feel in that moment, or how a person made you feel, how a man made you feel, how that your feelings are now proceeding over righteous judgment. And that's really what America is. America is the land of emotions weighing judgment. Habakkuk, the first chapter. How long will we have to witness wrong judgment proceeded, and righteous judgment is slack? I know I butchered it, but roughly paraphrase. I'm driving, right? Wrong judgment proceeded here all the time because everything here is based in emotions, immaturity. That's the problem. This is not a hard subject. 2,000 years ago, plus, families got started younger. Why is that such a difficult subject matter to accept? All cultures. Because why? People didn't live that long either. A lot of these elements are all based in survival. It's natural, it's nature. All right? But people make problems with nature. People really have a problem with nature. I'm telling you. How long will ye simple ones love simplicity, and fools hate knowledge? Who's the number one group of people when you try to tell something to do, hate it? Children. You ever try to tell a little boy to do something? If you are around, you got nephews, a son, let him be in his like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 range. You try to tell him something. That nigga ain't trying to hear shit because he's a fool. Scriptures say a child's heart is set in foolishness. This society has done an amazing job of keeping people in a childish, foolish state. Every aspect of it. Okay? Everybody, these women, immature. The main reason these women can't accept the idea of a man having multiple women is because of immaturity. It's just simple immaturity. So you can't process the other aspects of what comes in a union because your mind tells you, oh, you just want to go have sex with another woman. Same thing with a lot of men that wake up to this truth. Those that are immature, they think that they just completely get sold out by the idea of having multiple women. And that becomes the whole mission. The whole mission was for you to be woken up and for you to be able to add unto you multiple wives. Because your approach to sex is extremely immature. We're dealing with a society of people that can barely read. We're dealing with a society of people that can barely have any level of comprehension. And you think that this subject matter of all the subject matters is a one that is easily accepted, easily understood? This is the ultimate test of spiritual maturity. These people are children. These men are not men, they're boys. All these characters that you see, that's why really through the spirit, these other camps, they hate Great Millstone. Because truly indeed, this is a gathering of men. This is the gathering of men. You have to be a man to be over here. That doesn't mean, and see, when a lot of you, your mind, when I said be a man, you went to the first childish response that you could think of. You thought of fighting. You see, this place has the idea of what a man is, and being in masculinity is so fucked up that it shows in every step. That if you actually take a step back, like my rib was saying this to me, right? 144. My rib was saying this to me the other night. She said, man, you know, because see, for me, I have a passion in this. I took a step back Brothers that know me, I read a lot of books, a lot of research, a lot of understanding historically. If you listen to my lessons, you know that I speak on this subject matter a lot. So she was like, man, after, this and that with you, you would show, you dived into this and I saw this and I can't even, like, she was like, basically, I can't help but see the immaturity of men. I've destroyed her perception of other men because I've shown her what a man is, even in my own flaws, even in my own shortcomings. It's what it is. And that's what this truth requires. That's what this truth requires. But a lot of men, because they're little boys, right? The scriptures clearly say throughout what? Gird up thy loins like a man. Present thyself like a man. What do you think that's talking about? Do you really think that that's all focused? Yeah, I'm a man because I can throw a hook and a punch. I'm a man because I can fight. Fucking children can fight. Women can fight. So that's what I said. The definition of what it is. A lot of males are not sat down and had these type of conversations to put them on the right. This is a loss. This is something that is lacking greatly. Your first emotional thing is to go to something sexual. A law that we don't even have to exercise because we're not even in a kingdom to exercise our laws, but it's a law that you niggas always want to focus in on because it makes you uncomfortable. It's like sitting down a young boy and talking about the birds and the bees. You sit down a little 10-year-old and talk about and talk about sex and these subject matters. He's going to feel uncomfortable. Oh, come on. Oh, talk to a little boy, a young boy about a woman's menstrual. He's going to be grossed the fuck out. But as a fucking man, why are you? I'm not grossed out by it because I understand, hey, the scriptures say that you're supposed to put her away because why? It's unclean. I understand these elements. But at the same token, I understand it's a necessity of life. A lot of you are very immature. Specifically those of the circumcision. A lot of you that call yourselves chief priests and prophet this and king that and captain of 1,000,000 and all this bullshit are a bunch of little boys. You're a child. Because when it comes down to these subject matters, you get uncomfortable. You get the heebie-jeebies. We talking about ruling, laws that rule a kingdom. And your first thought goes to, but what about, you go to whataboutisms. But what about, and it's not even about a what about for the greater good. It's about what makes you feel away. Yeah, Habakkuk 1:4. Therefore the law is slack and judgment doeth never go forth. Yeah, that's why all of this is because the law is slack. Same people that say this have no problems with adultery. Same people that say this have no problems with homosexuality. Completely okay with that. See? The elect are a band of men and women that are mature, that are spiritually mature. That's why the scriptures say that honorable age is not given to that which in the length of years. Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter. A lot of you people that are 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, you're just a big ass fucking elementary student. You're just a big fucking child. You're 50, you're 60 years old, and you're no different than when you were 13. And you want honor. You want, yes, call me, yes, sir. All right. I'm an elder. No, the fuck you aren't, but okay, right? See? This world, if you're going through this straight gate, that straight gate matures you. That straight gate catches you up to speed. That straight gate gets you in order and speeds you up. There is no space for immaturity on the straight gate. You gotta grow up on all levels, in all aspects. You gotta grow up. That growth is different for all of us, but you gotta grow up. I gotta grow up. I had to grow up. I'm still growing up. Don't get it twisted. But it's still a process. Nah, I don't want to deal with that. See? Scripture speak about this is when it was in my mouth, it was sweet. What kid doesn't like sweets? What child doesn't like candy and chocolate, cupcakes and bread and cookies and shit like that? What child don't like that? But the child that likes bitters, you be like, man, what the fuck? This child different. You like that? Okay, that's different. You like, okay. The savory side of things, the spicy side of things, the bitter side of things. That's not a normal thing that a lot of children like. Same goes with you adults. You fall into the same thing. Ew, no, gross. I don't want to take that. It tastes nasty. Ew. I'm not going to take this because it's nasty. Ugh. So, hold on. Let me just turn this off. All right. But the point of it all is, that's going to be the title of this or something to that extent, is this place and its people suffer from extreme level of immaturity. This place doesn't force you to mature. So yeah, of course, for the immature Israelite, hell yeah, this is all a big session of dress up. It's all dress up to them, right? I get to put on a crown. I get to put on this outfit. I'm King David. That's why there's 30 King Davids in Israel. Everybody is King David. I get to put on a tiara and I get to dress up and I'm a princess and we got married. I'm Sarah and he's Abraham. It's everybody be playing. We be like, oh, everybody don't know how to be serious. No, these niggas can't be serious. They're children. And we expect, and I'm not even saying this to brothers, I'm just saying even myself, it's like expecting a child to be able to hold a manly conversation is where the error happens. That's why this other child talking about it was a heated conversation. What was heated about it? All right. So again, about to close this up. I just pulled up to the job. And hey man. That man, yeah. Isaiah 3:3-12. Yep. Says, for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err and destroy the ways of the path. Yeah, that's it. You know, our men are destroyed just in all aspects. And because of that, here we are. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to go in this job. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close this up. I'm going to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom.